Let's make 2025 the year of redemption, and let's get started by myself, first of all, to admit openly, yes, I am a criminal. Romania, I have broken your laws by feeding the pigeons. My heart felt too weak when I saw pigeons walking and there was no shop around in that entire area that even was selling food for them. They were walking, the weaker of us, walking around, hoping someone might start feeding them. When I started contacting the shops around them, even the first animal shops, they told me, unfortunately, we are not allowed to feed pigeons in the wild. By that, we are not selling it. We are not even presenting it to be sold. I had to go very far, eventually to find some shops willing to take the risk to sell it, but of course, only and alone for private use, not for public use. But I have used it for public. I have went around trying to find these pigeons that they're everywhere and giving them food. And by that, I admit I am a criminal. I have broken your laws and you have all the right to come and punish me. But asking me to stop caring about the weak, I can't. I simply can't. Because a world where we are not caring anymore about the weaker, a world where life is not equal anymore, is a world I do not want to even be part of. And I don't think you either would want to be part of a world, of a society, where you will be reborn into, in a random place in this vast universe, and start seeing that life isn't equally valued. Start seeing that orchids we have left behind, the values we have left behind, by telling them it is not allowed to care about the pigeons because they are pests. We simply don't want them anymore. Look, we have the telephones. That's enough. They are replaced. We don't need them. There is nothing why we should care about these animals anymore. Let's simply abandon them because the telephone makes them unnecessary. We don't need them to send post for us because we only value life when they offer us something directly in return. But life on itself, that has no value. Life on itself, depending. Why would we value them? And you know what will happen? Kids will grow up with that mentality. Will start looking to each other and start judging them based on what do you have to contribute to my direct life? Why should I value you? We are not valuing even the weak animals. So why should I value you? This will eventually create societal structures where people will not earn enough. They will have to find a way to survive. And with all respect, you are neither earning the minimum loan, the minimum income of your own citizens. You, the kings, did you see the difference how much you are earning per month versus how much your citizens, the weaker of them, are earning? Doesn't it start to become a logical assumption why they feel that if we as governments don't care about the weaker, why should they care about others? Why? Doesn't this make more sense why they eventually will behave criminal actions? Maybe go to steal, harm others? Because who will care about them? The government even teaches kids today to not care about the weaker. Because if you feed pigeons, if we will feed pigeons, then we broke the law. And by that, we are punishable. And this is not only for Romania, this is for many countries around the world. Today, we are not caring anymore about the weaker, and this depresses us. It makes us feeling that who will have our backs if things doesn't work out? Starting a business, it's very risky. Sharing all the wealth in the world, if only 5.32% of the world population that would have from that gross amount of $431 trillion divided by 8.1 billion people, if only 5.32% of the world population would have a net worth, a gross net worth, not even liquid, it's simply gross, not liquid. A house, the value of your companies. If they have only 1 million, then the rest is left with only $10 gross each. Liquid, $1. How can we survive? How is that equal? But it starts with something small. The ripple effect of neglect, where we value one life more than another life. Why? Based on what do they have to contribute. If we lose the telephones, then pigeons will be very in demand. Suddenly, we must care for them because they are our source. They can send a message from one place to another. But the moment the telephone came, abandon them. Even worse, do not feed them. Leave them alone. Leave them suffering. It doesn't care. We simply want to get rid of them. It's the same way we are today trying to get rid of the weaker in the financial industries. Did you check how much properties are increasing in value? How much rent is increasing in value? Worldwide, it's almost impossible anymore to even rent a property, to have the safety of having a roof above our heads. And then you are concerned, all of you, that the birth rates are declining? How will we feel the courage to start with having our own kids in a reality where everyone lives for themselves and the government, all they are doing is helping a tiny bit of the population and then claiming, but look, didn't we do already something? You allowed that private companies can own wealth. And those private companies, they are not operating on non-profit organization mindsets that tries to elevate humanity. No, they are operating on a profit perspective. Profits above collective lives of all. So yes, 95% will always have to suffer to give the 5% of the world population the best life possible. And we will pay for that cost. We will have to suffer. We will live in insecurity. We will not have the security that we even have every month, a roof above our heads. We must live month to month. If something happens, what then? What will happen? On who can we rely? Because everyone around us is struggling like us. Because the gap of wealthy and poor, they are not mixing each other. Because the wealthy don't want to see the pain that the poor are having, and they understand. If you surround yourself with the elite, you will get better deals because of friends' politics. So they will surround themselves with the wealthy. And then the poor are left on themselves, the majority of the population. We are struggling. We don't want to struggle anymore. We want a better life. Not just for ourselves, but for all. The suffering of one doesn't equate the profits we can make on them. I urge you, Romania, and I urge you, you are the heart of the world. Dracula's story happened in Romania. Andrew Tate is in Romania. And the media are centered in Romania. This is a billions in dollars that's standing simply there to crop. We can go two ways. Punishment, showing that retribution, punishment, inflicting fear is what we are standing for. Causing mirror neurons worldwide of children to look up to us as we are their heroes. And we made sure that critical thinking is not cultivated within schools because we need followers. And what happens now? They are looking to us, looking up to their heroes. You Romania, you leaders, the ICOT, you are the heroes of the future kids. They are looking to you with their eyes, watching, not even aware that mirror neurons is causing them to replicate behavior seen and witnessed by you authority figures that they are admiring, hoping one day to step like you in these footsteps. And their mirror neurons are learning and seeing that the way to handle failures within our systems is by punishment. So what will they become? They will become parents that punish their own kids. They will become students at schools that will punish the weaker peer. They will be the ones that look down upon the ones that have committed wrongings or even have a lesser status, because it's now all about status. We are not looking anymore to the intrinsic value of all individuals. They become really harsh. The world will adopt that, and we will enter a world where, as of today, look how the vampire story was simply people coming to try to suck on other people's misery and rotate the media, fly all the way over, not for positivity for Andrew Tate, but to publish the most worst news out there. There's no voices of compassion. All the voices are centered about punishment, retribution. Is that the voices we want? Romania has the heart, and it must come back to remember that the real Dracula story, before it got misinterpreted, was about healing the wounds, showing that love is the way to return back to humanity. We can be humans again. Let's make the world one again. Let's lead the world towards a world in love, in care, in unity. Romania, I am asking you, and I am begging you, to revalue your laws, to revalue your values, to review it all. Please sit by yourself and think, what do we want to be our message for the next generations to come? This world is already in distress, fights everywhere because of the inequality gap. It widens because we are straying away from logic that must have an applicable logic everywhere. And the long-term reasoning has not a consistent positive ripple effect for all, but for a certain group. And it only is short-lived positive. But once we are extending it over time, we are starting to see that it's flawed. We are not aligning with the same truth that the sun, the moon, and the universe are bowing to. We cannot convince the sun to shine a little bit more in this area. The sun will think and know if it will change course. Yes, we might have for a very short-lived moment a hotter climate. But what will be the cost on the collective lives of all and itself? Self-destruction. It will eventually lead to self-destruction. Similar to societal structures, we are starting by not aligning anymore with logic and reason because of an inequality. We have made a compromise on our integrity. Is it for cultural reasons? Is it for friends? It doesn't care. We have made a compromise, and the ripple effects of that compromise are immense because it will only widen. You give a finger, they want an arm. You already made the first compromise. They will abuse that compromise. And over time, it widens. And every time when you will get appointed for that compromise, it's hard to admit, because that means we are not cultivating a society of truth, but of lies and deceit. And that's very hard to admit. So we will lie to hide that. We will not agree upon that. And now that we didn't agree upon that, we will find that there is no common ground anymore to find. This will lead that if logic, consensus fades away, then the animal instinct is all about the stronger oppresses the weaker. And so this will cause divisions, then tensions, because we are still aligned in one aspect. We need to have the world resources, but they are divided amongst the world. And because of that divisions, we have now multiple countries. But now we have to make again a deal, sitting on the table. We have a problem because of that first inequality, causing us to not admit anymore upon logic and reason. And we are not accepting anymore what is more logical and reasoned that thinks about collective lives of all. Because we made that compromise, and we cannot go against that compromise. Even we know it's the wrong thing to do. But we hope, you know what, maybe somebody else will do it. That person never comes. It is we have to be the generation that change it. We have to man up. And I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is, because if we admit, there could be punishment. But trust that the long-term ripple effects will make so much the world a better place. They can do whatever they want to us. If they want to arrest me, go ahead. If they want to kill us, go ahead. If they want to slaughter us, go ahead. If they want to strip us, go ahead. Didn't they do it? Didn't egotism already did it beforehand? With all of us, just we are not remembering it anymore. Because in essence, our ego is simply an illusion. Because beneath that ego, we are all one. We always were simply one. Ego is to create the illusion of separation, a world with more flavors. But once we allow fear to dominate our lives, we'll start being hesitant to open ourselves up towards each other. And a world, a life, not lived in our true authenticity was a wasted life. I ask you to not fear. I ask you to understand that you are enough. Your life is enough. What do you think this entire universe was housing if it wasn't for your brilliant, beautiful, loving soul? Do you think we wished you on this earth to simply follow rules? No. We wished to be able to care for you. Why do you think we are trying to earn money? It is not for ourselves. If we earn money, we want to have a better world for our family. After that, if we have more funds for the people around us, if we have even more funds, if we have unlimited funds, we would wish to care for all, but the system didn't allow that from happening in the first place. It's a limited amount of funds. Even if you would divide it amongst all, it's not enough. It's not enough. And we fear that it will get abused. That's what we are fearing. Look, a fly that is trying to go around me, it is not my task to try to kill them, but let them, love them, care for them. Think about it. When is the last time we even showed a fly some love? When? Why do they don't deserve love? Imagine you was the fly. How would you feel if I simply dismissed your value? Because that is how we are treating everyone today that has not the necessary status. Would you agree that your mom is living a life of struggle? I wouldn't want to see that. And neither you. Why do we do that for others? Imagine we getting shuffled around. Would you trust yourself to be in the hands of the kids that we have raised, that have only to listen to us, only all words counts? Is that the parents we wish to have? Or the judges that only know how to punish? Retribution, prison. We don't need to hear about mirror neurons and the inequality gap that is leading people into poverty. We don't care about that. We simply want to control. And fear is our measurement. Is that a judge you wish to have for yourself? Or do we start following compassion, love? We must think about all. If we don't do it, who will? If Romania will show that, with Andrew Tate, make a worldwide commitment that from 2025 this is not simply a year. The world is in distress, fights, wars everywhere, and it's upon us to take a halt upon it. It's upon us to admit and look in the mirror that maybe we also made mistakes. I admit I made a lot of mistakes, a lot. My past, in order to shape me to the one that I am today, I needed to learn both sides because I was lost. But the moment when I saw the lies, the moment when I understood the truth, I switched my life completely on myself. I completely switched it. And till up today, it's a very painful experience to see why the world is going astray, why all that violence and criminality is happening. Why? Because of laws that caused inequality in the first place. Laws that prevented us from understanding truth. Because of compromises that widened over all these centuries. And the hardest part is to understand that it is we, myself. Because you and me are one. And the ones that created these laws years ago, before we even were born, were actually ourselves, or greed. Greed and fear turned us to make small compromises that tripled out today in this massive inequality gap and violence, and we are not understanding how did we came to this point, what happened. But it all happened a long time ago. And what we are now seeing is the fruits of that direction. But that doesn't need to stay that way. Because today, if I'm honest, if we are all honest, I don't think any one of us truly feels happy, truly have happiness. Because happiness doesn't come from individual achievements, but from being capable to see all around us being uplifted. That is what we are taking our happiness from, seeing that everyone is happy, seeing that we can align with truth, be ourselves without judgment, not being afraid of being abandoned, laughed out, for simply showing our heart, opening our hearts towards each other. And we must be honest, when we are all in secret, seeing a beautiful animal, don't we say, "Oh, I love you so much, you're so amazing"? Don't we are saying that? But then the human comes in front of us and suddenly we have a difficulty to express that same love and excitement towards each other. Say, "How are you? I love you. I love you. You mean the world to me. I am so happy to meet you. How are you? Welcome. Come here. Come." Like to open our hearts up. We are so afraid to open, to show that excitement to humans. We are easier to do it with certain animals, like dogs, cats. With them, it's much easier. If we are able to show that excitement with all, being compassion, knowing they are simply us, and understanding that we may have done something caused them in that situation, and why not asking what is the reason you have done it? What caused you to do it? Instead of directly starting to punish and say, "You are a criminal, you did that, there is no reason why someone has needed to go that road." Think about it. Today, it's the pigeons that we have to devalue because they don't serve us anymore. That has a ripple effect. Why don't we create places, special places, parks, where we even make boards and say, "Look, this area is for pigeons to feed on. So if you want to feed, these are the places." And we make it even that on these articles there is no profits. Why should everything be about profits? We are ready to spend time, but be fair. Don't make us work 7 days a week to have a low quality life. Give us time. We need to have time with our kids, family, friends, ourselves. Unity and equality. Equality also in time. There are 7 days. Spending more than 3.5 days, it's not fair. It's not fair. There's only 7 days. We need also, life is not about work and sleep. Who wants that life? What is that purpose of that life? Serving? Or purpose became serving? Servants? We are servants of the collective truth that thinks about all lives equally, in equity. We are all one. And the real purpose was to connect, to share love, receive love, have deep conversations that sparkles real love, not judge based on lust and believe that lust somehow is love. No. Isn't it amazing if you know that your partner accepts your logic and reason if it's more reasoned than her logic? Doesn't it is amazing to be able to build upon each other? You said something, she said something more reasonable, you accepted. Now you said something more reasonable, she accepted, and now you work and build upon each other and eventually create the ultimate truth that will serve all of us, because we have a limited amount of knowledge. But if we start working together like a blockchain based on the most reasoned arguments, not favoritism. Today it's all about favoritism. How many people are with you, then this is the truth. Even if it's hurting the collective lives, we will not think, we will simply take it. That is tribalism. Let's get rid of that part, because this part will cause us to be in our families, not able to communicate anymore with each other, constantly fighting. She doesn't accept or he doesn't accept because of their emotional biases, and we feel like, if you respect me, you should respect also my more reasoned arguments. If you don't respect me, of course you will not accept my more reasoned arguments. And now we feel that we are competitors. Okay, yeah, you said so and I should accept it. Is that how you want to have your family? Everyone with a smile of... When was the last time we asked how happy is our partner in our relationship instead of only ourselves? How happy do we make our partners within the relationship? How happy do we make our kids within our relationships? How happy did we make the citizens within our leadership? How happy are the citizens? Go around them and simply look. Book for a while instead of a house. Go in the places where they are truly living. Don't go in that fancy places. Go literally in the places where the population lives and see for yourself, because once you walk out, it's not so beautiful neighborhoods. These neighborhoods we are often seeing in the more luxurious areas, it makes us forget there is inequality. Everyone has a beautiful car, everyone has nice things. It makes us our days feeling better. But once we are going in the real areas, we start seeing the inequality. We start saying, wow, those houses are very crappy, small, they need renovation. Wow, look outside. They are not looking great. Oh, look, the people. A lot of poverty. It's a very depressing state. This is our society? Is that what we are doing? Is our wealth based on their misery? Is that how it all time works? Speak with them and ask them, how do you feel yourself? Yeah, I'm very stressed. My daughter is prostituting herself. Oh, why? She doesn't want to be a burden on others and she needs money. She wants a better life for her own kids because she suffered and she doesn't want to give her kids again that same suffering. And how will she earn money? How? Not everyone can have a successful business. It's limited. Not everyone can be a doctor. The spaces are limited. So what is the alternative? Selling our bodies, because in that way we don't have to be a burden for our partners, for our family. We don't want to ask money, knowing that they have difficulty to pay it because they are insecure themselves. Their fear of being neglected as money. If they lose their funds, then they lose their security. Who will take care for them? People around them don't have enough of funds. I don't think that is a life you was aiming to create, neither I. So please, Romania, be the heart, the spirit of this universe. Be a light in the world, in this world of darkness. Create a miracle that we need. The miracle that Dracula truly was trying to emphasize. Not what later happened and the story got twisted around and we start focusing on the negative aspects of it all instead of on the core. We are all sinners, including myself. No one is perfect, and in times before the world was even more harsher. So we was trying our best, but we failed. We weren't perfect and neither will we be perfect today. But let's do our best in the way that we can. Let's be the generation that tries it all, that gives it all, that puts the collective lives of everyone above ourselves. And let's make it our legacy to communicate the true essence of reality. Open our hearts. Let's take the heat of hatred. Someone has to take it. Let's be it us, because later the people will have a softer heart. Let's show them the essence. Let's be united, not where a government hoards everything and oppresses the weaker and silences their voices. No. But we must teach everyone that it is about make your statement with reason. Back it up with logic and reason. Do not create statements free. The free speech must always be associated with what is your reasoning behind your argument? And if somebody else presents a more reasoned argument, you must accept it. And we don't punish in a sense of imprisonment, no. We simply say, look, you clearly, your argument is less reasoned. You're not willing to accept a more reasoned argument. Your account, speak it with an artificial intelligence. Right now your account will get silenced, not silenced, but blocked for a while. You can make it back right by simply admitting that you made a mistake or give a more reasoned counter-argument to the artificial intelligence. And if the artificial intelligence that is aligned with truth from logic and reason, a logic that must be applicable in all situations equally, and a long-term reasoning that always must have a consistent positive ripple effect for the collective lives of all. Let's that be the AI that is decentralized, open source, not hiding anything, not partial open source, complete open source. Even the guidelines, everything must be visible. Even the thoughts process must be visible for all to check. No secrecy. Because this must be a society that thinks about all. One world where we are all connected with our artificial beings, and if anyone has a more reasoned counter-argument, it will get revisited every week. Not like in socialism, takes years because of the bureaucrats. No. We are wanting to make changes quickly, on a weekly basis. If no one can counter-argument the most reasoned argument, then this becomes our new truth. And we don't take names, because otherwise we start claiming who brought these ideas. The ideas are for all, not for individual elevating or status. We don't want to elevate anyone. No idolatry. Anonymous. Anyone can bring it up, even if it's from an AI itself, or from a child, or their parents. It doesn't care from who. We will only judge based on the merit of its logical sounding. Is it applicable in all situations? Are there any contradictions? If there is no contradictions and it has a long-term, positive, consistent ripple effect for the collective lives of all, then we must accept it. Because this will lead to no inequality. And if there is no inequality, people will feel that their voice is being heard. And it's very quickly, speak to your AI. And let's share the world resources. There is enough for all. There is enough for all. We are limiting it. We are creating those artificial scarcities to make it seem scarce, but in reality, there is plenty for all. Let's work for all. Look, an animal, if you give the animal plenty of food every day consistently, the animal will not feel like somehow now they have to eat more. No, because they are in short, there will be always food. Whenever they are feeling hungry, there is food. But once that's not the case, what will happen? We will start hoarding. Thinking, oh, I'm better to eat now, you know. The fridge is not always full. Oh, the fridge is full. I want to eat that. I always wanted to eat that. I want to eat that before it's not there anymore. And we will turn eating more than actually necessary because of fear that it might not be there. The hoarding mentality. Eat it quickly, take it. Just look to shops when we are doing promotions and there is not enough for all. People are running and quickly, fighting to take it, oh, take. But if it's plenty for all, people are relaxed. I can go tomorrow, it will be there still. Why should I hoard right now? Why? So let's create a society where we share. A society where every country is based on what is your land the best in. You are tropical, you will be ideal for fruits. So anyone that likes to work for the next 4 years in the fruit industry, you can travel towards these countries. And whenever you want to change, you can change. And all houses are owned by the land. Not by an individual, but the land. So that we can move from one country to another country. All basic necessities like hospitals are shared among the world. Everywhere the best treatments, not for them a better treatment and for them a lesser treatment based on status and wealth. No, all lives matter. All lives matter. Not based on ethnicity, not based on wealth, not based on whatever. We are all one. Everyone is one. Arab or non-Arab, Turkish or non-Turkish, Belgian or non-Belgian, Romanian or non-Romanian, United States or not United States, Emirati or not Emirati, Chinese or not Chinese, Australian or not Australian. We are all one. Russian or not Russian, it doesn't care. We are all one. Instead of being simply the heart of a nation in money, wealth, be it in values. Belgium, you are the heart of Europe. It's your obligation to show your heart for all. United States, you are the leaders of this earth. Treat us with the same love and care you would wish to be treated yourself one day if places were reversed. China, don't oppress us. Our voice matter. Saudi Arabia, please be kind with all. Be kind with all. We shave our heads bald as a man, or we wear white. One color for all. It starts with one, like Dubai, one color, not red, white, making a distinction, because culture is not truth. Or we follow culture and all ripple effects, or mirror neurons will say, I will now kill women, stone them to death. Yeah, culture goes above truth from logic and reason. Or we say, no, we are looking to this culture from the eye of logical reason, to truth. If anything in that culture isn't positive, it's not culture. We reject it immediately. We only align with logic and reason. Anyone can counter-argument us, regardless of status, regardless of wealth. We are one united, and we must be one. Israel, you are the most logical country. And I want to thank you, first of all, for having a one united field. There's only one Jewish country, 57 Muslim majority countries, 156 Christian majority countries. The number speaks for itself. We need to be united. But I must also say, Israel, you know for yourself, you can do better. You know for yourself. We cannot idolize anyone. We only are one together. And through this logical reason, please think about all. I know you have suffered, and I know there was done an immense injustice towards you. And I take full responsibility for what happened to you. If you want to hang me, go ahead. But just remember, it has a negative ripple effect. People will believe it's punishment, the way, instead of healing. Forgive. Unite the world. Be the heart for all. I urge every nation, every country to step out. I urge every human being to step out. I urge everyone, if you felt in your life that it's not going perfect, if you felt inequality, understand. Supporting meme coins, for what? What will it bring us? Support truth. Support truth. Support truth. Share truth. Stand up for truth. Because this is the only thing that will work. It is the only thing that truly will bring change. Do not fear, because that is just an illusion of our minds. Like in our dreams, we do not remember our dreams from yesterday in our tomorrow dream. Similarly, our lost lives, we will not remember in this life. And thanks to that, and thanks to living, coming back in a randomized place on this universe, we have even a bigger reason why to take care for all, because we don't know where we are coming back. And if we was living forever, how boring would life not be after 1 billion years? 1 trillion years? Never dying? Re-experiencing life after an average of 70, 80 years? I think will give us more flavor, because we can re-experience it. Being back kids, not having the memories, it feels all like new again. And the technology evolved. And we have a better society created for all. An adventure that never stops. We improve upon it as long we keep on the truth of logic and empathy. Empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is sympathizing with one, but forgetting to think about the collective lives of all, how that will ripple out. We must think about all. If somebody bend their truth for individuals and not think about the collective lives of all, it's just a matter of time till they backstep you for something they could get out of from. Think about it. We must explain ourselves. Our curious minds is there to understand the logical truth. I know this video is going long, and I know there is so much of information being told in this video, but trust me, this video is the most important video of all times, because it carries truth, it carries hope, and it carries a future we all want to be part of. Spending time on other things is nothing we need. We don't need a superficial life. We don't need all these things. What we need is you and me to be able to connect, to open our arms with a smile that is from the heart. Forget the past mistakes, the cruelty from the mistakes, learn from it to not do it again by self-introspection, understanding it was inequality. The inequality, once we deviate from logical reason, how will we come to an agreement? Once we are saying pigeons are less valued, do not feed them. We don't need them. Don't care about them. It's okay. Why should we care about the weak? They don't serve us right now. Ripple effect. We will eventually not even understand why we are devaluing other humans. We have no idea why. Because the mirror neurons do it in our subconscious. We are not aware even of how it worked, shaped our reality, influenced our behaviors. We didn't even understood that. Let's teach everyone the truth, and I trust upon you. And yes, I am a criminal, and always will be. No, I am not perfect. And being perfect, it's hard. It's very hard in a world that is literally going towards the wrong direction. Because in order to come up for the weak, some people will not like it. In order to tell the truth in an egotistical system, that's already illegal. Most countries will want to imprison me for speaking out. Maybe not he only imprison me, simply kill me. But is that what we need? Is that what you want? Is that all what we are searching for? A world where there's no authenticity? Think about it. That's wasteless life. Going around, finding that no one can think for themselves. Be honest. Tell what they truly think about it in their mind and heart with their tongue. Having all the time to fight to get it out. Sensationalism and fights all the time. Thinking I'm going at home for what? Fight, and we will not be able to speak my truth. Being around even my own wives. Imagine your own wife. Imagine being around your own wife, your kids, your family, and not be able to tell you honest truth because of they will judge me. And starting to think, you know what, I need a little bit of my me time, or because there are certain things I cannot openly speak about it with you all. And it's annoying to feel like somehow our mouths are shut. We cannot be honest. And that's living a life on a mask. A very depressing. We need rest from that depression. We need truth in our lives again. We need true leaders, fearless, to stand up for the universal truth. And remember, life has no purpose or meaning once you deviate from it. I trust upon you. I love you. You mean the world to me. And I am here in Romania. And I went to not only Romania, I went to almost all countries with hope. With hope that maybe I might awaken someone there that will lead us. Because I thought it's easy to find. But after 6.5 years, I'm running out of all my options. I have a very short time left. My passport also will end without a renewal. And I hope we will see change before that time ends. At least that we see that something positive could come for all. Please help me, help yourself, and help the world. The youth are needing you. You are our superhero. We wish to have somebody that comes for the truth regardless of the hatred, regardless of what people will say. We all die. We all die. We all die. But the question will be, what will be the values we leave behind? I love you. And Romania, Belgium, the entire world, everyone that I have hurted. If you want to kill me, if you want to punish me, go ahead. I'm in Romania. You can do whatever you want, and I forgive you.